Hey everyone, Moshe Rothschild here, the Global Israel Alliance, with your weekly summary of the news from Israel. I am back from Tulsa, Oklahoma. This past Sunday, we had our Israel conference in Tulsa, Oklahoma. It was outstanding. Anyone who lives anywhere near Naples, Florida, on February 23rd will be our next Israel conference. Go to our website, israelalliance.org, and you can sign up. We'd love to see you there. Anyhow, back to the news. This past week, the new ambassador from the United States to the United Nations, Kelly Craft, who's taken over for Nikki Haley, made the following statement in her first press conference since arriving at the UN, actually in September. She said that she vowed that she would strongly oppose Israel being used as a punching bag by the UN Security Council. So clearly she's following in the footsteps of Nikki Haley. We look forward to her term as U.S. ambassador. This week, the U.S. Embassy received the green light and the fast track from the Jerusalem municipality to start the construction or to move forward with the plans for the construction, and hopefully, it'll still take a few years for it to be completed, but that project will be quote unquote fast tracked. In Israel, there is no such thing really as fast track construction, but anyhow, that's what they're reporting. Interesting story this week. There's a woman named Bidi Deutsch. She's an Orthodox mother who made Aliyah from New Jersey to Israel, and she is Israel's top female marathoner. She was an Olympic hopeful, and then she got word that the Olympic marathon for women is being moved from Sunday to Saturday to the Shabbat, and so unfortunately her Olympic dreams have been squashed. This is an Orthodox Jewish woman, and so therefore she will not participate on the Sabbath. And listen to what she said. Here's a quote. I may not be able to run a race that is on Shabbat, but the one thing I do know is that I will continue to proudly represent what it means to be an Orthodox Jewish woman and a professional runner for Israel. So we say to her in Hebrew, Kol HaKavod, we give her all the honor for this difficult but righteous and correct decision not to participate in the Olympics representing Israel on Shabbat. The Likud party and the Blue and White party this week finally agreed on something. They agreed that we need to go to another election. Not a great thing, but at least they agreed. So in March, Israel will be going to our third election in the last 12 months. As I've said before, quoting my brother-in-law, that Israel is the only democracy in the Middle East. And just to prove it, we're going to go to elections 3 times this year. Let's see, what else? The Norwegian Parliament, interesting, Norwegian Parliament decided last week to cut funding to the educational system of the Palestinian Authority. Now, why did they do that? Because they've discovered that the curriculum in the Palestinian schools include incitement to violence, terrorism, and martyrdom in their curricula. So the Norwegian government said as follows: examples of content found in Palestinian school books include reference to violence, martyrdom, and terror. The coalition considers this to be devastating to the peace process and development of a democracy in the region. And it continues a little bit more, but Norway had promised to transfer $24 million, and now they are cutting that. See, guys, not only good salmon comes from Norway, but they finally made a good decision. So next, satellite imagery revealed that the Iranian forces in Syria are building a massive tunnel along the Syrian-Iraqi border so that they could smuggle weapons. Now, Israel is doing everything it possibly can to keep Iran out of Syria, but we are facing a persistent and difficult enemy. The U.S. President Donald Trump, this is not so much Israel news, but it is related to Israel, signed an executive order this week that will treat Jewishness as a nationality. Now, that the result of that is that now the U.S. federal government can prevent can withhold, funding to universities that violate the executive, that violate this executive order. Well, under the executive order now considered a nationality, they are protected from any kind of offensive racism type of speech. And now the U.S. government can withhold funding to these universities that are anti-Semitic or even anti-Israel, and that's how it's related to Israel. So this really takes a lot of the teeth out of things like Apartheid Week that they held on the campuses, or Anti-Israel Week, and those kinds of stuff. Now, if the university doesn't stop those, they can lose federal funding. Okay, now let's go on. A couple more stories. Two feel-good stories to close it out for this week. A 9-person Israeli medical team heading to the Pacific Island state of Samoa to help fight against a deadly measles outbreak, which has taken the lives of 63 Samoans since October. So Israel, once again, there to help. We are not simply a nation that closes its eyes to the suffering of the world. We are always willing to step up and to help. Here's another beautiful example. Israeli doctors this week saved the life of an 11-year-old Arab boy from Bethlehem with special laser brain surgery. The Palestinian hospitals were unqualified to treat the boy, and Israeli doctors stepped in and saved his life. So I want to wish everyone a wonderful Shabbat, a great Sabbath, and this is Moshe Rothschild, the Global Israel Alliance, reminding you, February 23rd, if you are anywhere near Naples, Florida, join us. Go to our website, sign up. We want to have Jews there. We want to have Christians there. We want to have anyone who loves Israel there. Please don't wait till the last minute. Go, sign up. It's going to be amazing. Again, have a great Shabbat. We'll see you next week.